Okay, so we are going live in 3, 2, 1. And so please start. We are live.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to the PG Track program of Delhi CSI. We are into the 53rd webinar. It's always a pleasure to have you again on this journey. For last couple of weeks, we have been having exercises related to catch tracings, hemodynamic traces, and the data also. So it's been great fun. We have had many students who have joined us here for all this. And today, again, we have Dr. Ranjan Shetty, who will be speaking on angiocardiograms on structural heart disease, a case-based learning. So this is not actually a didactic lecture, but angiocardiograms in congenital heart disease, structural heart disease are often shown to all of you. So the purpose of today's lecture is that how to interpret it, and you will be doing it. All our friends, our fellows who have joined here live opted themselves. They will take this opportunity, unique opportunity, to answer these questions, and so it will be a great mutual learning for all of you. So I request you all to get set and for this 1.5 hours of great extravaganza, and it will be great learning. I invite my colleague Professor Sumod Kurian, who is always a great support, to invite our speaker Dr. Ranjan Shetty, please.
Yeah, we welcome all the PGs for today's PG Track talk. Yeah.
Some social hygiene measures before I say, because each resident will be asked by Dr. Sumod only, and when he is asked and named by sir, only then he will
PG
be
Track program. Okay. Yeah, Ranjit, we are so thankful that you could come today. Is a very famous interventional cardiologist of this country. Is a young person, but no, so much talented, extremely talented. Any latest intervention, he is a master, and also he's a teacher. India Live, everywhere you go, you will find him teaching there. But what is commendable about Dr. Ranjan is that he still continued to maintain touch with the basics, willing to teach the basics like oximetry and angio, all the interpretation, all these things. And we are so thankful that you are here. And it's a great opportunity for all of you to be trained by Dr. Ranjan to how to interpret the angiogram in structural heart disease. So we welcome Ranjan. Thank you for coming. Please train our residents.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sumod. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Mohit, for having me here. So today, little bit I will be talking about angiograph, the view, and how to describe, and then we'll quickly go to some examples, some of which we did see in the last lecture. That's where we realized that this is one area we may have to give little more importance. Now, describing angiogram, how do you describe? Like describing X-ray. How much you know about the subject? Each pattern in cardiology needs to be described in a particular way. For example, ECG has to be described. You might know VSD, you might know MI, but when you are dealing with one particular method, you need to describe it in a particular structured way. The way you start, way you finish, itself tells your examiner how confident are you in this. So for example, if you're looking at ventriculogram or aortogram, what's important is which view. That's always the first. What catheter, the course and position, and what is the chamber which is opacified. You need to also follow the dye and describe everything what you see. Do not describe anything what you don't see. Don't interpret too much. Describe everything what you see. So be as much vague as you need to be as much specific that you need to be. So the Leo phase, which is following the contrast, is also important. Identifying views, all of you know it. I may add some little bit tip and trips here. It's, since most of you are very familiar with coronary intervention, I think view is not an issue. One question which is typically asked is, how do you distinguish cranial view from a plane view? That means, how do you distinguish LAO cranial from LAO plane? In both, diaphragm is seen, both spine is on the right side, but how do you describe? So you may have to look at the direction of the ribs. If it is a cranial view, the diaphragm and the heart sit on each other. In the sense, part of the heart is actually overlapping diaphragm if it is a cranial view. If it is a plane view, they sit like X-ray. The heart is above, diaphragm is straight. So if it's plain view, they don't overlap on each other. That is one thing which you should understand. By coronary, I think all of you know how to do it. Now let's go quickly into one or two, little bit theory before we jump into this practical. Now, RV angiogram is done with a multiple side hole. Almost all ventriculograms are never with the end hole. Because if it's just an end hole, this is one question which will be asked. End hole, the force with which the dye is injected could actually dissect. It's like water cutting diamond, it could dissect. So it's never done. You have to do with multiple side holes. You could also have an end hole, but side holes are must. That is something which we should know. These are multiple catheters which are available. Typically, it is pigtail. The NIH catheter, I'm sure you'll have some other discussion on finding out. RV injection is usually done in AP and lateral. The interesting part about RV injection is it's almost always anterior chamber. If you are in doubt, RV is anterior, RV is trabeculated. Coronaries always follow the ventricle. So these are the general rule. This, what you see here is, Dr. Sumant, can you ask somebody to describe this for us so that just to understand how they would describe it.
Can you unmute, Sudhir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sudhir is not there. Smarak? Okay, Sudhir is there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here.
Yeah, describe.
This is a angiocardiogram done with the help of a side hole catheter with the catheter course from IVC to RA to a chamber which is coarsely trabeculated, probably right ventricle, sir.
Yes, Sudhir, go on. Yeah. What is the view? You didn't talk about the view.
But this is AP view, sir. Possibly.
Yes.
Slight
AP,
overlap.
Yeah. So it will be AP shallow cranial, no? Because you see a slight overlap. Most of the time when you want to look at PA, it is a slight cranial is what you give. You can make that out, right? When the heart is this, you have described the catheter, right? It is a venous catheter coming from IVC. It's in the chamber, and dye injected into that chamber shows coarsely trabeculated ventricle. Trabeculation, as we discussed last time, should be seen at the septal side. Okay, it's always the septum. Both ventricle appear trabeculated, but it is the septum of LV which is very smooth. So what do you find here? So injection into this chamber, what does it show?
The dye is filling right ventricle, and right ventricular it is going to main pulmonary artery, and there is a constriction in between the pulmonary valve.
This is the valve. See, you can see the valve here, and valve looks okay. Let's not go to the abnormal finding in this case. Let's stick to the normal thing. See, there is a pulmonary valve here which looks reasonably okay. Here you don't see the ink jet. You can see it smoothly opening. And then abnormality we'll describe later. You see a PA. PAs are confluent. What does confluent mean? They're joined to each other. They're confluent. And then you see the filling of both the chambers. Now let's see the... Any question?
I would request all the residents to keep muted unless they are asked. Please mute yourself immediately. Yes. Only when you are asked, please unmute. Please, Dr. Ranjan, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mohit. So let's now see the LV angiogram. Again, there are numerous catheters. Almost all of them will have side hole. Typically, LV ones are not balloon tipped, RV ones are, but you could exchange that could work. But typically, LV is done with a pigtail catheter. You could have a straight pigtail, or you could have a angulated pigtail. Angulated pigtails are useful for RV angio. For LV angio, a straight pigtail is very useful. And Can somebody? Yeah, I hope it plays. Yeah, yeah. So no. So what happens is here, almost always RV is approached retrograde. That means you come through the aorta, and as we were trying to discuss last time, venous catheter directly enter. Most arterial catheter, which comes from the artery, goes up and comes down, and then it enters. Optimal position of catheter. These are some of the questions which will be asked you in exam. See, even if you get a simple angio, it can be made complicated by the questions which follow it. So usually it is mid-chamber. Very rarely you go too much into the apex, except when you suspect HCM or apical obliteration, you go as much to the apex. Otherwise, you try to keep it more or less in mid-chamber, because that is where the catheter, that's where the interference is minimal, ectopics are minimal, and injection is more, it's good and beautiful. Now, volume of contrast, I think that was a question which was asked in the group, depends on the type of catheter. It also is important. Always do the cath before you do angio. Depends on the size of ventricle. If it is a dilated ventricle, you may have to go to 35, 40 ml. If it is a small pediatric, it may be 10 to 15 ml, depending on that. The PSI, that's also very important, depends on the catheter. A pigtail can easily take a PSI of 300 to 1200, but catheter like angioburman, you would never go beyond 450. So volume of contrast, this is the total volume is 30 to 55 depending on the chamber, and ml per second could vary from 10 to 15 ml per second. That is typically decided by, this is 30 to 45 and 15 ml per second. Ml per second is also depending on the heart rate. If there is a lot of tachycardia, your flow per second has to increase. If it is bradycardia, it could be a little less. Now, this is the PSI which we were discussing. Higher French, you could have higher PSI. Lower French, you need to, there is an error there. Lower French, you need to have lower PSI. Now, for LV angio, two views are typically taken, and we should also know why are we taking these views. So RAO 30 is very good to assess the function. It is typically, it is almost like the two-chamber view of echo. It gives very good position of the function. It also tells, talks about the mitral valve position, very good position. You also have what we call as a long axis view. The long axis view is like apical three-chamber echo, that is LAO 60 degree. When we discuss VSD, we will have to, we will discuss, we will have to know which VSD is seen best in which view and how do you identify. So RAO has been a standard view. So you cannot comment on RV function without RAO view. One, all the students there, also the thing you need to do is, you need to write down a view. Say, for example, RAO 30. What are all the angios which can be done in RAO 30? There are 8 to 10 of them. Same way you have what we call as a 4-chamber view, which is LAO 45, cranial 45, and caudal 45. So that's an excellent view, or it's called 4-chamber view. Again, list the angios which can be done with different conditions which you pick up. And this is how the catheter escape you see both in systole and diastole. There are softwares in our angio machine which can tell us the EF. We don't do it any longer, but it helps. Whereas regional wall abnormality can be seen. So now I think, Dr. Sumodh, can you ask someone to describe this, and let's try to look at different things we see in this view.
Yeah, Smarak, can you unmute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, this is a chamber angiogram done through retrogradely placed catheter through femoral root, so femoral artery, aorta, into the posterior placed ventricle, and view is, sir, LAO. Sir, lateral view.
Yeah. So,
yes, yes.
Smarak, no, this view.
Yes,
what is this view?
Sir, Yellow cranial, sir. Yellow cranial.
Yes, yes. You know why you are saying cranial,
Yes,
no?
Yes, sir. It's
Yeah,
overlapping with the head diaphragm.
Yes, yes. So it's elevocranial. Very good.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's showing a normal LV. Normal, probably the chamber is the LV and it's posteriorly placed, and normal LV size and contractility. And you can see here, there is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One perimembranous VSD probably is there, and you can see the coronary also here. Two coronaries are there, arising from all the respective sinuses.
Yes. So, yeah, 2-3 questions, Mark. I think you explained it quite well. So, one question, why do you say LV? Because that's the hallmark. Why did you say LV?
Sir, it is posteriorly placed.
One is posterior, agreed, because it is a levo view. Levo and lateral are two views where you could comment on anterior posterior. You cannot do it on AP or RAO view. That's the first thing. Good, that's correct. What else? What are the other things which makes it LV? Yeah.
Sir, this one, this septum is not trabeculated.
Yes, the smooth. It's you have to call it smoothly chambered, but somebody could talk about this trabeculation here. When you say no, it is the septum which we see, but stick to smoothly smooth chamber. Yes. What else? I've stopped it in a particular view for us to explain further. What else do you see? I've stopped it in a particular frame. Yes. Yes, you also see something coming here, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's coming to the other chamber.
Yes, sir.
Now, you were very bold, and I like that boldness, that it is a perimembranous VSD.
Yes, sir.
So, how did you make that assumption, no?
Yes, sir. So, actually, this jet is horizontal, and probably it is going through the tricuspid annulus. So, that's why.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Correct. I think you got it right. So see, look at this jet. You definitely see a discontinuation in the septum. This is septum. Upper part, LF is the best view to get septum, and upper part of the septum, you get discontinuity. The beauty of this image is the discontinuity is very clear. You're able to see aorta, and you know, in a moving frame, it is better. You're also able to see a margin. So in an elevocranial view, if you're able to profile VSD, see any VSD you inject LV, you will find a dye in RV. That doesn't make that view best for that VSD. You know? So the VSD now can be perimembranous, VSD can be outlet, VSD can be inlet, VSD can be muscular. Obviously, muscular are easy, they could be anywhere. But let's talk about 3 VSD which are found just below the aorta. Never call VSD subaortic. You cannot have a supraaortic VSD. No, VSD has to be always below. So always classify them as perimembranous, inlet, and outlet. And this. So here you have a VSD which can be clearly measured because both the margins are keen. It's a elevocranial view, maybe something like 50-30 or 60-20, so-called long axis view. You see a jet, and jet is filling the chamber. So if it is perimembranous, jet fills the chamber and then fills PA. If it is outlet, the best view for outlets, Smarak?
So it is RAO 30.
RAO 30. See the RAO 30, I was telling you to make a list of 10 things. So 2 things are already come. One is LV angio, other is RV angio, and the other is outlet VSD. There you see a jet directly going. That doesn't mean if you do LAO, you don't see the jet. You do see the jet, but it cannot be profiled properly. So profile means you have to be able to see the margin of that defect. So that's seen in RAO 30. And if it is inlet, how will what is the view and what is the jet? Direction of the jet and the view.
So direction will be downwards.
If it is inlet, it will tap the opposite RV wall. It's a straight. This is downward. That is straight. And which is the view, Smarak?
So inlet, yellow, sir, yellow.
Yeah, it's a level 45, so-called 4-chamber view. Okay, so you know if it is a gerbody or if it is inlet, you need a 4-chamber view, which is a level 45 and cranial 45. So all the 4 chamber in that you can see RA will be here, RV will be here, LA will be here, LV will be here. What else do you see here? This structure here. What is this structure?
Sir, mitral valve, mitral valve.
Very good. It's a negative shadow. It's a
Yes, sir.
tongue-shaped AML which is seen. If
Yes,
there
sir.
was MR, you would have seen jet here, no,
Yes, sir.
in this
Yes, sir.
area. And
Yes,
you
sir.
also see this mitral valve continuous with the aorta.
Yes,
So
sir.
aorta
Yes, sir.
mitral continuity is seen, a septum is seen, a beautifully profiled VSD is seen, jet which comes here. And you also look at the coronaries. You can see the right coronary here, which tells us that R is here. You also see a shadow behind aorta. It's difficult to say behind forward, but it's a delayed shadow. That is the PA. Okay.
Yes.
See, first you see aorta and just before is PA. Last time somebody commented on AR, you can never do that. If it's a LV injection, you cannot comment on AR. Sometimes the angio is long, then go along with, the blood goes to PA. You can have LA and LV. The levo phase also is possible.
Yes.
Now, how do you classify? Thank you, Smar.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
So how do you classify MR? Which view? It has to be both for MR and AR. Classification is on RAO 30. Again, one more thing for RAO in your list. We already told 4-5 condition. Classification of MR AR is in RAO 30. So you grade it 1+ to 4+ based on angio. 1+ is a mild opacification which clears quickly. 4+ LA is more opacified than LV. That is 4+. Same holds true for AR, but it has to be aortic root angio in RAO. Again, not in LAO, RAO. RAO is the one which quantifies. So here you see this is the coronary angio, this is LV angio. You see the dye density. Look at this, the dye density. This is RAO 30, and you see the dye here is as much as LV. So this will be called grade 3. Here, LA is dilated and the dye looks more denser than LV. So this will be grade 4. That is what we do. Yeah. So can somebody comment on this?
Yeah. Rohit, can you unmute?
Yes, sir. This is the AP view showing.
No, view is not AP. Yeah.
Then RAO, sir.
RAO, yeah, RAO view. No, yes, correct. Why do you say RAO? Because this is on the left side, no, and it's a plane view. No, it's not a cranial view because you see the diaphragm and a heart just lying 1 hour. So it's the RAO view. Yes. What is a catheter? Stick to your basics. Yeah.
Arterial catheter, which is going into from the descending aorta to the arch into a chamber, which is.
Yes, it's a pigtail catheter. If you can see it, name it. Yeah.
It's a pigtail catheter, and we can see there is the contractility is good. The contraction is good, and it is smoothly. It is smooth. So probably it is left ventricle, and then we can see there is from the mitral wall there is regurgitation into to the left atrium, which is being opacified a bit less as compared to the LV. So it is probably grade 2 MR.
Good explanation, no? And are you able to see the mitral valve well? The valve itself is visible well, no? That is. See, sometimes when you do a LV angio, you have ectopic induced MR. They are very transient. Here it doesn't look like ectopic. It looks like a proper contraction. Initially there are ectopics. Rest are proper contraction, and then there is MR. So this was, one question for this person. Who was it, Dr. Sumod, who answered? Yeah. Arun, I think, no? Yeah. So, Rohit, Rohit, one question. If you find a diastolic MR, what does it mean?
MVP.
Yeah, MVP is also systolic, no?
Systolic.
Yeah, diastolic MR, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, diastolic MR actually means only one thing. LV-EDP is raised. It occurs whenever LV-EDP is raised. It can only happen if LV pressure increases more than LA pressure. No, otherwise, why will the mitral valve open? So any diastolic MR actually means raised LV-EDP. So It's not easy to pick up in angio, but keep a watch out in echo sometime in acute AR. When LVDP rises, there is a mitral valve premature closure and you could have diastolic MR. But it just means that. So I think, and also in MVP, what you see is you see a beaking. If you look at the mitral valve here, it's not prolapsing into LA. It's just opening here, but you don't see it prolapsing in LA. If you see a prolapsing in LA, it's called beaking. That's what you find in MVP. So AR again, same classification, and the best view to describe that would be RAO. But can somebody describe this angio?
Ridesh or Purneshwar, Ridesh is there. Otherwise,
hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is a aortic root angiogram with the help of a pigtail catheter. The catheter course is from the descending thoracic aorta to arch of aorta to the root of aorta. Sir, can you play the
angio? Yes, I can do that. Yes.
Yeah. Here we can see two cusps. Most probably the pigtail is in non-coronary sinus, and we can see the origin of both RCA and LAD, and we can see that there is a regurgitation of contrast into the chamber which is connecting to the aorta. So
yes, so it's a level view.
This is
yes. And you see what is the
yes, sir, the view is a LAO view with cranial angulation.
Very good, very good. So you understood it well. So I think this is a very fair. I'm not very sure it is in a non-coronary cusp though. It may be bicuspid also for all we know. No, we're not sure.
Yes, sir.
We're not seeing the third one. And this cusp, which wherever the dye is, seems to be giving rise to RCA. No. So that means it could be the right cusp.
Could be
non-coronary usually comes here. So most of the grading has to be done in actually RAO view, but we do LAO to look at coronaries and look at to define the cusp. Cusps are best defined in LAO view. So this is, views for left heart, long heart, this 50 to 70 and 30 cranial, hepatoclavicular, also called 4-chamber, is good for so many conditions. You're going to make that lift. Lateral is done usually for coarctation and descending PDA. LAO is, again, cocked can be seen. RAO 30 is good for, we already discussed, is good for so many, condition. The best views for PDA are actually lateral and RAO. Usually whatever is distant, the images are better here. So in aortic root angio, we did discuss most of it. Yeah. Now can somebody describe what we see here? Yeah.
Amarendu, you want to describe? Amarendu?
Hello?
Yes.
Anybody else? Dhanji?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, Dhanji, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. This is the angiogram in which the catheter courses from the descending thoracic aorta to aortic root. Catheter is a pigtail catheter. The view is the LAO view. That is a plain LAO view because the heart is above the diaphragm. It is showing aortic root with which giving rise to two coronaries. Which is right coronary artery into the right AV groove, which is normal in course and anatomy. And the left coronary artery also arising from the left sinus with normal coronary anatomy. With
Dr. Sumad will be upset with your...
Carefully, Dhanji, carefully see it. Carefully see it. It's such a beautiful angio. See how, rather than just jumping, see carefully all the phases where the left coronary goes from. It's very, very clear.
And yes, sir, that is Al-Kappa type. Because in the initial part that we are seeing the only one coronary artery from the left side, and at the end of the LEVO phase, that it is filling back into PA.
So before commenting, you should always be very, very clear. You know, the left sinus and that is not showing any LED which is arising.
Yes, sir.
So it's very, very clear that it is originating from the pulmonary artery. So that's the catch here, isn't it?
Yes.
So that all these interpretation. And second thing is that if the angio is same, you see the opacification of RCA is so good and so fast. Why LED is not opacifying so good? It is impossible. LED should actually opacify in a good way, but it is not. So all these things should indicate. That is why observation of these angiocardiograms is very, very important. I think Dr. Sumodh and Dr. Ranjan would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And, thank you for making it very clear. And, the mistake which Dhanji made, anybody can make, because one look, you feel the left coronary is absolutely normal. Yeah. So it's important to see it carefully. It's important to where it drains, why it drains. Now, I'm sure after this, all of you identified the PA which is here and the coronary which actually, it's instead of draining forward, it's draining backward. This is why you get continuous murmur in Al-Kappa, and this is a view pickup. Dhanji, you have any doubt, or are you very clear now?
No, sir, got it.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
The next descending iotogram is done specifically to look for collaterals, obstruction, and dilatation. So again, I think we'll have to request Dr. Sumodh for somebody to, Dr. Sumodh? Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Rohit, will you be able to answer this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is an aortogram showing an AP view with the pigtail in the arch of aorta and showing a normal brachiocephalic and the left common carotid and the left subclavian artery. And from the descending aorta, we can see a branch feeding the right side, which is probably aortopulmonary, probably a MAPCA, and the rest of the yes, sir.
Yes. So it's good. So at this point, I'm happy you picked it up, and MAPCAs by definition should be sizable. That means more than 2 millimeter in size should supply the significant territory of lung. It's filling most of that. There are direct, indirect, all that. You need to read theory because people are going to ask you this at this point. Now to look at PA, again, it's the venous injection most of the time. So can anybody describe what they see here? View and whatever you find.
Arun?
Sir, good evening. This is AP view with catheter in the right pulmonary artery. It is the Berman catheter, and there is Berman catheter, and there is and the catheter course is from IVC, then IVC, then RA, RV into pulmonary artery. It is opacifying the right pulmonary artery, and
yes, Arun.
Then
LEVO phase also you comment,
LEVO phase.
Pura dekho, see what is happening later on. There is something which is unusual. Right lung.
There are LEVO phase in the
I'll stop it for you in LEVO phase. Okay. Yeah. So, like
Sir, in the LEVO phase, there is opacification of the right atrium. Anomalous drainage.
Sorry, I'm not able to stop at that particular point. Let's see. This is the LEVO phase. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do you see here?
so there is a opacification of the right.
There's some opacification here. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's happening there?
Opacification of the
array. No, but
array,
is it
right
direct
atrium,
array
yeah.
or is it going anywhere else? There is a structure here, no? You are very sure it is AP view. That means you know heart ends here and the diaphragm is here, no? Whereas this venous structure appears to be going below diaphragm. Just concentrate on that. See, it appears to be going below diaphragm, and from there it's entering RA, no? So it's likely to be see here. It's like a, what is it like? It's like a scimitar, no? So there is a vein here, which is now going down. This is diaphragm here. It's going below diaphragm and joining here. So it's a partial anomalous pulmonary venous return.
Yeah.
From whatever we see the right upper and lower pulmonary vein going below diaphragm and joining, almost like a scimitar syndrome. But scimitar also has a hypoplastic right lung, which we need to find out and describe. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is something which is very interesting. The post-surgical cases, you have what we know as a Glenn injection. Okay. Because here you can't go from the femoral, because the Glenn circuit, as you know, whatever you name, unilateral, bilateral, bidirectional, you should understand all this terminology. But in Glenn, the injection is through the upper body. So, can somebody describe this, Anju?
Deepanjan is there?
Yes, sir. This is the like catheter course is from the right-sided brachiocephalic vein, and it is coming into the SVC, which we can see is it is anastomosed to the main pulmonary artery, like to the right pulmonary artery. And we can see that like there is contrast opacification of the SVC, which is flowing into the RPA and the LPA with bilateral good arboreal fixation. But the LPA origin, it is like stenosed. The diameter of the LPA origin is much less as compared with the RPA.
Yes, but something else could be happening. I'm happy you picked up most of the finding. So here SV is connected to here. So there is a bidirectional Glenn, no? Because
yes,
if it's not end to side, it's a bidirectional Glenn here. But here you see some negative shadow here. Are you seeing anything?
There may be one possibility that this is a bilateral.
Very good, very good. Yeah, there's
a competitive flow.
Yes. So it is a bilateral bidirectional Glenn. Okay. So if you have a bilateral SVC, they are connected separately to bilateral bidirectional. PS are confluent, as you mentioned, but the size we are not very sure. You know, to do Glenn, PS should be of reasonable size. No, otherwise you don't do Glenn. No.
Yes, sir.
Glens are not done if there is obstruction which is suspected, because it's just there's no pump there for Glenn. So for Glenn and Fontan, the PA should be reasonable size. If you have doubt about the size of PAs, you actually do a BT shunt, no, to allow it to grow. So that means the size cannot be that small, but there has to be a low pressure system. So PS could be there at MPA level, but branch PS stenosis are not very common in Glenn. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we did see this. Just for repetition, inlet is 45-45, perimembranous is 50-70 of LAO and around 20-30 cranial. Outlet is RO30. Muscular is variable. Very rarely for muscular, you may have to do a lateral view. So this is what we already discussed. It's not, see, it should be like this. This is a LAO cranial view. You see LV, you see mitral valve, you see the septum, but you beautifully see the end. You know, it's not you know, you can mark, you can measure this VSD and the jet predominantly coming to chamber. So this is a perimembranous VSD. Sometimes you can also see the aneurysm of the septum which comes. So we saw something like that. So I think we can skip that, but now you are able to make out the perimeter, and almost in all VSD, you feel that aorta is overriding to some extent, okay, to some extent. So unless it is significantly overriding, don't comment on override. You can see the septum beautifully here, the smooth trabeculated, smooth septum. You can see the mitral valve here, which is here. You can see the PA getting filled, but the dye predominantly fills the chamber before it fills the PA. Now, does anybody want to comment on? I think this one. Let's look at this one. Yeah.
Yogesh?
The same patient, so you could say, yeah.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes.
The ventriculogram.
Which one are you saying? The left one or right one or both together? It's of the same patient, okay?
Yes, first one. Left one.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the ventriculogram with the help of pictal catheter and in a aleocranial view. This is most probably the left ventricle. And they are in the normal good contractility.
Yes, please go on. Yeah.
On the right side, we are also filling off. I think
okay, so just see the left. Left is a level view similar to what we find. What we see is otherwise everything is same, but we see a jet which is now coming to the more slightly to chamber and mainly going to PA. So this VSD, although you know there is a VSD, is not profiled at all. You don't see the margin of VSD. It's blurred. You can see the septum and it's blurred. See that silhouetting concept of X-ray is needed here also. Whereas the same person's angio now in RAO 30 shows that there is a VSD and the blood is now predominantly going to RVOT and then PA. In this view, you are able to measure the VSD. Here, you are not able to measure. You're just seeing some dye somewhere. But here also what you see that quickly the PS are filling even before the chamber. So this is a outlet VSD. This is our outlet VSD. So think about VSD is if you take any angio, you will see some dye somewhere. You have to make sure it is silhouetting. It is, where you are able to measure. Just look at this. You are able to beautifully see the VSD. You're also seeing that it's predominantly going to RVOT and then to PA. Okay. So this is how an outlet VSD looks. Now, anybody wants to describe this?
Suryakant?
Hello. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, this is a aleocranial view with a arterial catheter, pictal catheter, with chamber in the mid cavity, filling the smoothly trabeculated, posteriorly placed, smoothly trabeculated chamber. So most probably it's a LV. We're able to see a dye filling the chamber, so it's most probably a muscular VSD, sir.
Correct. You see a VSD which is somewhere here, no? Somewhere here,
muscular,
away from the aorta, and you see it filling to the other chamber. So very likely muscular. Very good. So you picked it up. Now for PDA, we have discussed this. The best view for PDA is either RAO 30 or it is lateral. These are the best view. These are the views where you can measure the PDA ampulla, size it and oversize, and devise it. So if anybody wants to describe, they can describe. They will ask you what is the other view, which is good. The other view, if you can't profile it in this, is RAO 30. There's sometimes, those small VSDs which are audible and you want to close them, they won't be seen in lateral. You may have to do it in RAO view and see. And this is how the device is positioned. And finally, before releasing angiogram, is taken, and this is how it it is positioned. So here, before releasing the device, the trachea becomes a good landmark for you to identify. Now, this is what we did last time, and this. So now, I think Dr. Mohit, there are some examples, so we could do it quickly, no, Dr. Mohit? Yeah. Yeah, this we discussed last time, so we'll go to the next one. So, yeah, we did this also last time. Yeah. Yeah. Let's start with this. Yeah, we also did this, but let's do this again. Dr. Sumodh, would you?
Yes, Smarak, you want to try?
Yes, sir. Sir, the view is the AP view, sir, and the catheter course antegradiently placed to the venous root.
Yeah, epicranial, no?
Yes, sir. Epicranial and catheter course antegradiently placed catheter into a post tabulated chamber, probably RV. So this is RV angiogram, and sir, the dye is filling. Yes, sir. There is a infundibular hypertrophy with a thick dome pulmonary valve. The inkjet effect is there. So probably valvular pulmonary stenosis with a usually dilated MPA segment. And normally normal caliber of the RPA segment. So
correct. And also the subvalvular component looks dynamic, no?
Yes,
you're able to see it contract and relax. So this person, you know what could happen after BPV? There could be suicidal RV, or there could be a gradient which is persistent, but the level of gradient will now become subvalvular. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Next person, Dr. Sumodh. Yeah.
Sudhir, please.
Sudhir.
Yes, sir. So this is the angiocardiogram done with the help of a side hole catheter with catheter course from IVC to RA to RV to RV OT, sir. And view is AP with shallow cranial view.
Yes, please go on. Yeah.
What is happening here? So clear. Come on, batao.
Follow the dye. That is the rule. Follow the dye. Yeah.
Where is dye going?
Yeah. Dr. Mohit, I think that he might be having a Arun or somebody has typed Dr.
Okay.
Mohit in the
Pandey, you were saying something? Go ahead.
Hello, sir. Can you listen to me? Sir, this is a PA view with slight cranial angulation where we can see the course of the catheter is from the IVC to RA to PA, where we can see that in first phase the PA is filling and then the aorta is getting filled. The main pulmonary artery appears stenosed with dysplastic pulmonary valve. And
why do you say dysplastic pulmonary valve?
Because there is no aneurysmal dilatation of the MPA segment.
So that does not always indicate a dysplastic pulmonary valve. You have a very clear delineated valve here.
Unless you are seeing a very thick valve, you cannot call dysplastic.
Dysplastic you cannot see.
When there is intact septum, you will have LPA dilatation, all those kind of things. No, the septum may not be intact in this patient.
Yes, sir. And then we can see that the ventricle is getting filled, and through that the aorta is getting filled. So there is VSD.
Yes. What else? Yeah. This is a very standard, this one. People expect you to answer this quickly, and they are waiting to ask other questions when this comes. Yeah. They're waiting to ask indices and things like that.
It looks like a TOF with pulmonary infundibulum. Looks like a classical TOF.
Yeah, but the level of stenosis could be both infundibular valve and supravalve also, no? See the upper part of the valve, this also looks
yes,
small.
Yes, sir, supravalvular also, it looks small.
So it could be all the three, VSD, you picked. There is a huge aorta, no? Aorta is big, PA is very small. And in liver phase, always comment on liver phase, you see pulmonary vein draining into LA, LV, and again you see the blood going into aorta. So it's not a DORV.
Yes,
it's not a DORV. In DORV, PA and aorta tends to fill at simultaneously at the same time. It's not a DRV. Here you see PA filling first. You definitely have features of RVOT. You definitely have features of small PA. You have features of VSD. So almost all the criteria for TOF is fulfilled. At this point, people might ask you on some of the indices, whether how do you operate and things about BT shunt and things like that. Okay. So next one, this one which we already did.
Sir, one comment on the MPA. Comment on the MPA size in that case.
Yeah, the previous one. Yes, MPA is smaller than the both the PS. No. Yeah.
Both the.
That is very important.
Yeah. And next is this one. I think you have already seen. No, which we have already described, but it's much clearer here. What we see is much clearer here. So injection into PA. What does it show? Anybody?
Rohit, want to say?
Venous catheter. Sir, AP.
Yeah.
Sir, AP view, venous catheter. The course of the catheter is via IVC, RA, and RVOT. The injection is given in the pulmonary artery. In the first phase, we are seeing pulmonary artery filling fully. In the LEVO phase, we can see a pulmonary venous drainage. Sir, it's a Schmitter syndrome, sir. Pulmonary venous drainage.
Yeah, right side pulmonary venous drainage appears to be infradiaphragmatic.
Infradiaphragmatic.
No? Yeah, whereas the left side appears to be to LA. You can see that also, LA to LV. Okay. So this is similar to what we saw that time, but the injection is in MPA here. This is interesting. Who wants to describe this?
Any hands?
So this is the angiogram taken in the lateral leg view.
Yes. Actually, who is answering? Yeah.
Deepanjan, sir.
Deepanjan, yes. You know, it's so surprising. The view is not lateral. It looks like lateral, but not lateral.
Sir, this is LAO view with slight cranial angulation.
Again, no, it's not LAO. Look at the spine.
So spine is on the right side.
No, spine is facing you. It's not about right or left. How the spine is facing you, no? Look at the ribs.
Yes,
they are horizontal. It's like an X-ray, no? So this is an AP view. It's a very interesting case, but don't, one look, you will feel it is lateral, you will feel it is LAO, but the view is not decided by where heart is or where SVC or IVC is. View is decided by the spine and the position and its tilt. In this case, the spine looks straight and it is looking just at you. So this view is, are you able to see the spine and the the ribs? Ribs are so horizontal and the spine is just facing you. So this is an AP view, okay? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yeah.
So, it is the LV in the like catheter courses is from the aorta, like probably from the like femoral artery to the like PTA, then the arch of aorta and into the ventricle, which appears like claviculated. So it is a morphological RV which is pumping blood into the aorta.
Okay.
And there is no AVVR seen like from this ventricle.
Okay.
And this ventricle is placed so RV to aorta, and we can also see a like catheter which is coursing from the IVC to the RA to the probably the we don't know the like morphology, like provided the right sided dead ventricle.
Yes.
So it is
from this, what do you know?
Yes, sir. It is like TGA with intact septum.
Yeah. No, there are 2-3 things. What about situs? This is a AP view, no? That is very clear. What about situs? Where is the venous catheter? Is it on the right side or left side?
It is situs inversus. With
situs inversus. What about the heart? Is it levocardia, dextrocardia?
Dextrocardia, sir.
Okay, so you have situs inversus, you have dextrocardia. You also have a catheter which is arterial from aorta going down to a ventricle which looks like RV, no?
Yes, sir.
So most likely it is situs inverse dextrocardia with corrected transposition, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And in corrected transposition, the septum is AP. Okay, this is one physiology. Okay. Most of the places, septum is best profiled in LAO. In CCTGA, whether it is a situs inverse dextrocardia or situs solitus levocardia CCTGS, the septum is AP in this condition. Okay.
Yes.
So even when you have to put a pacemaker for these people, remember it is the AP which shows the septum. Okay. Okay. This one.
Danji, you want to say? Danji?
Yes, sir. Sir, in this view, which is a AP view with a slight cranial angulation, where we can see balloon tip catheter from going from the IVC to RA and then floating into the RVOT. That is the catheter, probably the Burman catheter.
This is an intervention.
Yeah.
This is an intervention being done.
Yeah.
Burman catheter is indeed, does Burman catheter look that big to you?
Yes, sir.
There's
a Burman catheter is that big. The capacity of the Burman catheter, the balloon.
I am not able to see the team form there.
Yeah, I think Arun is able to say. Arun, you want to explain the procedure?
I would request that please don't answer the in the chat box. That takes away the whole essence. You should attempt and raise your hand so that everybody is participating. Arun, please. So now you can now describe since you have answered it already.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. So this is AP view with there is a intervention being done, passing the catheter through IVC into right atrium. They're passed across the interatrial septum and done balloon atrial septostomy.
What do you think is the condition? Which all condition would you do balloon atrial septostomy, Arun?
TGA with intact ventricular septum. That is the most common condition for which it is done.
And also here you can see egg on end appearance.
Egg on end appearance is
there. It's
there,
a huge this one. So it's likely TGA, but there are many other conditions where you would do it. Okay. The next one. I think with this, should we stop, Dr.
See, if you ask me, I am happy to continue for another hour. So we will bother you next week again. There's no problem, but we can stop with this. But I have seen that you have many other good collection also. So it would be happy in the interest of all the residents that we continue the discussion next time. So
yes.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Amrendu, want to try? Amrendu is there? You're there? Yogesh, you want to see? Yogesh? Suryakant?
Sir, AP. Sir, I will try, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, this AP view, right-sided catheter. The catheter course is from femoral vein, IVC, via SVC to the opposite side SVC. I mean, via innominate vein, they are connecting via the horizontal vein. Probably a left SVC. So video leftist, sir.
SVC will go up, will SVC will not turn down.
Yes, sir. That's what. Not sure, sir.
Okay, Sudhir, you want to try, Sudhir? Anybody want to say? Anybody want to volunteer?
Sir, vertical.
You already seen the catheter course of similar patients.
Yeah. So can you run the video? Can I try, sir?
Yes.
Sir, is it post-Glenn? Like
Glenn kya hai? Yeah.
The catheter goes from IVC, right atrium. So yeah, IVC, right atrium, then into SVC, anastomose to pulmonary artery.
In Glenn, you will never be able to enter from IVC. Can you enter?
Sorry, I mean.
So, sir, this is the case of Fontan, probably extracardiac, because we can see that the catheter is coursing from the IVC to the MPA, which is hugely more dilated, and from there it is going to the LPA.
If it is into the MPA, how come the dye is coming back? If you inject into the arterial structure, it should go forward, no?
Yes, sir.
Then why is it coming back?
Think of it like an X-ray, You all know this X-ray.
The full catheter course has also been shown by Dr. Ranjan.
Yes. Now you give the answer.
Yeah.
The right-sided aortic arch.
What is happening to the catheter? Where is it going? Just see.
I think Sudhir has answered this now.
Yeah.
Just now he has uttered.
Right aortic arch.
Right-sided aortic arch.
Yeah. It cannot be an arterial structure because dye is coming back. Dye is not going forward. Artery, the dye should go forward.
There's an aneurysmal SVC here, no? Yeah. That's the interesting part of this. Otherwise, it's coming from SVC RA to the vertical vein. And this we discussed last time. Vertical vein and LSVC appear same, but embryologically they're way different structures. So this to be something like, it's a figure of 8. So it's a TAPVC. So I think with this, should we stop, Dr. Sumar?
Ranjan, just a moment. Ranjan.
Yeah.
Just before the injection, you have a blunt end edge of the catheter. Suddenly that becomes flat. Were you doing something? Some intervention being planned here?
No, this is a very old.
At the end of the injection, now just hold it.
Basically, Girish, I think that what is happening is it's a dye staining there. That looks like a catheter.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So that is what is happening there. So you see that the dye sticks there. The catheter is same actually. You see that probably that is what is happening.
Probably in a multi-purpose catheter, whiplash effect is happening. Stuck on a position.
But anyway, it was a fantastic presentation and a great collection. Dr. Ranjan, we are definitely not going to leave you unless we exhaust your whole collection.
Definitely.
So I think all the residents, my colleagues, Dr. Girish and Dr. Sumud, you would agree that we would love to continue with all the structural angiocardiograms with more details, which wonderful snippets that you have shown. And it will be nice that we continue this next time. So would you be okay, Dr. Ranjan, for this?
Yeah, definitely.
So that will be great. So next week, we will continue with the collection of more angiocardiograms. I request all the fellows and residents to again take this opportunity to join next time. It's been a great and a fantastic teaching, personally for us also, and for everyone. So thank you all for joining us today evening. And thank you, Intas, for providing us this platform. Thank you, my colleagues, Dr. Girish and Dr. Sumut. And stay safe, and we'll catch up same time next week, 6 p.m. for another set of beautiful interpretations. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.